Hello and welcome to the Pointy Ears podcast, our first episode of 2023.
Yeah, that's right. We're in 2023. Hi, I'm Matt. That's James. We're in the UK just now. We've just finished a tournament.
Blood in the Snow at a Hull, my local area, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's your local, but it's not like you play here regularly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the first time I've been there because obviously I live in China, but it was great to come back and play.
Yeah. We had a few practice, well, a practice game before we went. And here's a picture from the practice game. On the right there, you'll see Marathi with only 3 wounds to go. Always a good sight to see.
And as soon to be dead, Kragnos
Oh, yeah, he
or
was.
Arachnos.
Yeah, we call him Arachnos. So taking a straight right to my list. So we're going to go to my list first, and then if you want to see our recap on James's list, which was Daughters of Khaine with loads of snakes, then make sure you look on our channel and find it, or maybe we'll link it, but I probably won't. So here's my list with Arachnos, and it's all about Kragnos and friends. So a little bit about the list. It's got a little bit of the magic focus that I always like to take with Spiderfang. Spiderfang get a regular +2 to cast with rerollable if you take Master of Magic. And I also take the Arcane Tome on the Arachnorok, so I've got 3 casts on him. Now I've only got 1 extra wizard in this list, which did feel a little bit shy. But honestly, I got lots of kills in with my endless spells. I was trying Mork's Mighty Mushroom for the first time. And how did you feel about Mork's Mighty Mushroom and your snakes?
In the practice game, it was that and the
Scuttlefest?
Skull Tide, the best two things against me at least. Yeah. They really did a lot of damage.
Lots of mortal wounds. It's really good for poking down Marathi as well. But we didn't play each other in the tournament, so unfortunately.
For you.
For me.
I mean, unfortunately for me.
Right.
Fortunately for you.
Right, so also on my list, I took a couple of big hammers with the Trogs. So I've got 6 Rutguts. They're great because 24 wounds, 5 up, 5 up. And then they've got regen. You can rally them back. They're really fun. And they swing hard. As long as you can give them an all attack, they swing hard. Unfortunately, I got lots of neg ones to hit. I was hitting
it's bad for Troll.
Yeah, they did not enjoy that. But for when they were hitting on 2s with an all out attack, they loved it. And then also the Mayabrut Trogoth from Cruel Boys. Now, when you take Mayabrut Trogoth in Gitz, I want to recommend that you don't just take him and expect him to be great. He needs support. He's a 5-inch move. He's super slow. To help him out, you got to get him in there. When you're playing in Cruel Boys, they can teleport him. They can do lots of stuff. And they can hide him with Grin and Blades. But in Gitz, our best way of getting him up there is with Kragnos. So I took Arachnos to give him the 3d6 charge, and that helped him get into the places he wanted to be. He loves Finest Hour, so if you give him all that attack Finest Hour, he's 2s and 2s, 2 rend, 3 damage, with up to 10 attacks, plus the Orc's attacks on top of that. So he can be really damaging. What else is on my list? I've got 4 screens, so my 3 units of Spider Riders. And then I took Rippers. Rippers are great because they have a 6-inch pylon, and they're going to work great with Kragnos, so I'll tell you how later. Scuttletide as well is almost always my MVP. Scuttletide killed 1.5 Gargants this competition, which is like 50 wounds. It was insane. Scuttletide. Always take Scuttletide. It's the best. Even if you don't have Spiderfang, take Scuttletide.
Yeah, it's always in my list too.
Right? Yeah.
So good. But the mushroom, for me, the mushroom at those points,
yeah,
I think it's so close to a must-take, especially going into New Handbook.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I think I just love it. I love it. It sucks when you get into a bad matchup. I played against Gargants twice this competition, and then I didn't cast Mushroom. But in a lot of matchups, it can just do so much. I went Battle Regiment, so I'm a 3-drop list, and yeah, that was about that. So going into round 1. So round 1, I was against Night Haunt. So this Night Haunt list, wait, this is the wrong list. Wait a minute, that's not the Night Haunt list I went against. Doesn't matter, just look at the picture.
Just look at the picture, yeah.
So I went against Reikenor. There was a Kurdos Valentian. He had a Spirit Torment, a Guardian of Souls, and there was some other hero which didn't matter for some reason. I forget.
Oh, so you were against the Dread Harridan's list.
Yes, the Dread
Right.
Harridan's list. So he took 3 times 10 Dread Harridans, but he didn't take them in their subfaction. He took them in the Emerald Host. And so in the Emerald Host, you pick D3 plus 1 enemy units at the start of the game, and at the end of every battle round, they're going to take D3 mortal wounds and a 2 up, which sucked for me because he picked my baby web spinner shaman on foot, who only has 4 wounds. He picked my Arachnos. I wasn't that worried about that. He heals a lot. And he picked Kragnos. And Kragnos doesn't like mortal wounds from non-magical sources.
How many do you think it did to Kragnos during the game?
Well, actually, he didn't kill Kragnos. So in this game, Kragnos ended up being really useful because if you look down the bottom right, we were playing was it Wood Back Down? No, that's Head-On Collision. Head-On Collision. And because it's in a straight line and Kragnos counts as 30, it was really useful to me to just go put him on an objective. Now, he took 2 units of Grimghast Reapers in Expert Conquerors, which counts as, because there's 10 of them, they count as 30 on an objective. So I had to be player around that. But Kragnos being in this kind of like very linear battle plan was super, super, super useful. Apart from that, what did he take? He took 2 times 3 Spirit Hosts. And yeah, I think that was it. Now I lost this game, unfortunately. It came to time. At the end of round 4, we had 5 minutes left, so we called it. We lost this game 17-18.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah, just 1 point short, which is a bit of a shame to start the tournament like that, but that's how it goes. So moving on to round 2. In round 2, we get matched against Gargans. So I'm rubbing my hands together, because I'm thinking Kragnos loves charging into monsters. He only has monsters. He's not going to stop Kragnos charging. I'm thinking this is going to be great. I get really confident, like too confident. I don't want to do that.
You always give your opponent respect.
No, it's not that I wasn't respecting him. I was just like, Kragnos is going to have fun. So this guy took 3 megas and 2 minis. Now, normally the list is 3 megas, 3 minis, but you can see he took a Gatebreaker and King Broad, which are extra points. So he only got a couple Man Crushers. But he also had points for shards of
Rhaegar. I want to ask about that. So I've not seen that in a Giants list before. Did he get to cast it?
Not once.
No, what? Did you know how he wanted to use it?
He wanted to use it, I think it like halves my movement or something.
Yeah, it slows you down.
Yeah, he didn't get it off against me. I just heard that he was casting it. I was like, what bonuses do you have to cast? And I was like, oh, that's a shame. But this guy was Bill that played this. Really nice man. Really nice man. He plays Warhammer with his son. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
really cool guy. Right, so in this list, you can see it's the 4 corners are the objectives. And in the picture, you can see, what if you can see the mouse? You can sort of see the mouse. Nice. You can see where his Man Crusher and his Gatebreaker, that's what those are, ended up. I think this is where they ended up after. Oh no, this is during deployment, and they're going to move into this corner in turn 1. I give him turn 1 because I outdrop him. Then I just go and I 3d6 charge my Myrick Troggoth to this side. I 3d6 charge Ripper's Snarlfangs to this side. And then I get Kragnos in. Kragnos comes into the mini and does 20 mortal wounds. See ya. So the mini's gone. And then we enter combat. And I'm finest houred on the Myrick Troggoth. And I'm thinking, right, Kragnos probably doesn't finish off the Mega in one hit. And the Mega could probably kill the Myrick Troggoth. So I go in with that first, right? I go in, do tons of damage. The guy's thinking, oh no. He has like 10 wounds left on his guy. And he piles in towards Kragnos. And I forgot about this at the time. He's got an ability called Pulverizing Strike, something like that.
Blow. Sorry.
Yeah, is that it? Right, Pulverizing Blow. Yeah. So what it does is you give up all your attacks on the Gatebreaker, and on a 4-up, you'll deal 4d6 mortal wounds. And he rolls the 4-up, And then he rolls 19 mortal wounds for Arachnos, and you should just seen my jaw drop.
Yeah.
It was
How many wounds
horrible.
does he have?
He was 18.
18. So
Right, so
that's
I'm gonna
that's
make
ward save time.
yeah, so I've got to make 2 6s or I'm dead. I made three. I made three, so he lived. But I'm just sat there like, okay, priority. Okay, I lose priority. I'm just panicking. He starts throwing a rock. Okay, I save it. Okay, okay. And then he gets a charge in. And it was awful. I lost Kragnos. I lost the Mybrute. I lost Rippers. Oh, while I think about Rippers, right, so the trick with Rippers, I'll tell you that right now. So the Mybrute goes into the left, Kragnos to the right, and Rippers up here. And these guys are further away because he moved a turn. So what you do is you use your hammers to finish them off, and then Rippers has a 6-inch pile in. So then afterwards you can pile in with Rippers and just make your screen again.
That's after they're dead.
That's after the enemy's dead. Yeah, because then the closest enemy unit
It's
is these guys.
the thing you're trying to block.
Yeah, and any unit that is charged in that turn can pile in and fight if it can. So I just piled into outside of 3 of the King Broads, which isn't down yet in this photo. So yeah, I panicked at that point. I'm down 1,000 points, but I managed to get it back. I got a double turn with my Trogs and my Arachnos piling in on his War Stomper here, which is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it, but that thing in his right hand, that's a boat axe.
Boat axe.
He got an Allrack, the one from Nighthaunt, Allrack, the
Drowner.
Yeah, the Drowner. He took that and he put it on an axe sting or a tree, and he made that a boat axe.
I love it. I think it'd be more effective if it was a speedboat though, because then you have a little propeller going at the end.
That would be much more handy.
Yeah, we saw some amazing conversions at this event.
Yeah, really cool stuff. It was
Wonderful
insane.
stuff.
Okay, so that was round 2. Got a win in the end. Round 3 is this is
It's the wrong picture.
it's a picture of Sylvaneth. Oh well.
We continued.
Can't see it. Okay, that's fine. So in this game, ignoring the picture, I was against Gargants again. I was like, okay. So I had a really tough game against that guy because I wasn't careful around the pulverizing thing. And I'm against Gargants again, and I'm like, please no gate breakers. He has 2 gate breakers. Oh my god. And this gatebreaker has a way of like running and charging. I think it might be the Amberbone Totem. I think that might be how he did it. But one of them could run and charge, which was terrifying. So I give him first turn, and he alpha strikes me. He chucks a rock from another guy at Rippers, who's in front of my Arachnos, and he charges in, finishes off Rippers with his impact hits. And he piles into Arachnos, and I'm just getting deja vu. It was scary, man. But he chooses just to do his normal attacks. He does a bunch of wounds. He does like 15 wounds to Arachnos. So I'm like, oh. But then on the swing back, my trolls were in range 2, and then I went with Arachnos and managed to kill him. So I was like, okay, got it. My turn next. Arachnos comes up, charges another Gargant, murdered that in 1 hit. I did the same trick with making a screen. Then I get the double turn.
So you finish him.
Well, no, I finished him in round 1 and then got the double turn. And then I charged another Gargant. So Arachnos takes out 2.5 Gargants, and then by end of round 3, all the Gargants are dead. So that one went a bit easier. But this guy I played against here was Rob, and he does his own 3D printing. We got ogres from him.
Oh, that's the ogre that we got.
That was
free.
him.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's wonderful stuff.
Yeah. So at the start of the competition, he just shouts out, free models! So everyone gets a free model. We got these cool, like, 3D printed ogres from him, and he 3D printed his army. They look really cool. They've got, like, all the artifacts are on the model. They look sick.
Yes,
Awesome.
that's the best.
Okay, so
Yeah, I was very jealous getting to play 2 giants, because I think giants would have been a nice matchup.
yeah,
for
for
me.
you as well.
So good.
So round 4, I go against Bone Reapers. And so I go, this guy's Morgan. He's playing his Bone Reapers here. I hear he's the 1K king in Hull. Apparently he goes 5-0 every time at 1K. That's what he told me. Bone Reaper's good at 1K, it seems. So in this list he goes Archon and Soul Mason. And then he just has loads and loads of Mortek Guard. He's got 40 Mortek Guard. He's got 10 Death Riders. on the flanks there. And then he's also got some stalkers, which are very scary. And what was awful was the crawler. So the crawler has an ability where
So many abilities.
it rolls against your bravery, right?
Yeah.
Once per battle. And rolls a number of dice equal to the models in your unit. If it beats your bravery or is equal to, then
It's just mortals.
it just kills the thing. It's just mortals.
There's one that does against a unit, and one does against the
It's the one that
hero.
It's the one that's bravery.
But the one against the hero's wounds.
Oh.
I don't know. I have a Bow army. I keep reading that war scroll and I don't understand it. It's so long.
Well, the way we played it, we haven't looked at the war scroll since. But the way we played it was he has to roll a number of dice equal to my models in the unit, and for each roll equal to or higher than my bravery, the model dies. That's what we played.
Yeah.
And so he goes against my trolls. Bravery 4.
Yeah.
Heroes 4. I lose 4 trolls turn 1. That was sad. But I can't complain because I rolled 2 rallies and got them all back in 2 turns.
Yeah.
So I got first roll from 4 dice, I get 2 6s. Second roll, 2 dice, 2 6s. So I can't complain at all. I got all of them back. In this game, it was just Arachnos wrecking shop again, and the mushroom. So I send Arachnos up the left flank. He goes all the way around here and just wipes up everything with the Arachnos supporting. The trolls were just hanging out here doing rallies. On the right hand side, he sent 5 Death Riders, and then this guy, the Myabrit Trogoth, he wiped them up and then didn't do anything else for a few turns. And then I just stuck a mushroom here in front of 20 Mortek Guard and the 6 Stalkers, and they just stood there taking mortal wounds, unable to move because I would just take the objective. Poor guys. Scuttletide was there too, making it even harder. And then
How was Arkan? Because he's got +2. Did he just not roll well? Or?
He rolled okay. He didn't roll when he was rolling to dispel. He rolled double 1s and then a 3 the next turn. So his dispel rolls weren't great. And then in round 3, I'd gotten him to teleport here. I'd got Arachnos and my Ragnarok up here, so he teleported behind me. And I think the guy forgot to cast his Protection of Nagash, which gives him a 5-up ward and a teleport, and only take 1 wound. So it's like you charge into him, he takes 1 wound and teleports away. And I think he forgot it, and I get my Myabrit Trogoth into him, and then that's just GG. So that was round 4, and I'm 3-1 at this stage, and I'm feeling pretty nervous.
Did he have anything like bad happen because he can't use the normal commando abilities, or did that go okay for him?
Well, redeploy. He really wanted redeploy, and he just couldn't. That really hurt him actually, that he couldn't redeploy, especially when I was coming for Arkham.
Fix Bone Reapers, Games Workshop. Fix them quickly.
Well, it's coming. Yeah, it should be coming. All right, so round 5, I'm into Slanesh, and this guy's got this really cool army. This guy's a 40k player. His name was James, just like you. Hey. And he's got this like kitchen Slanesh army. I don't think you'd call it that, but I call it a kitchen army because we've got a guy in China who has a kitchen.
Yeah, like the basing style. Yeah, like some tiles, kitchen tiles. But it really fits well with this Slanesh theme.
Yeah, it does.
It's really cool, really decadent.
So yeah, the guy told me that he finished 44 Bliss Barb Archers in 1 weekend, and I was like, "You're the Flash or something," because that's impossible.
It's impressive.
So he's just crazy fast with this list. The archers can always run and charge, and he gets reroll run because of run and shoot, and he can reroll his runs because of something. I'm not sure. It might be feverish anticipation. It must be because it was the epitome that was doing that. So feverish anticipation lets him reroll his runs, and he just I had the worst time. So I pile up on my right flank with Arachnos and my trolls, and I just try and push this way. And then what he does is he had a bunch of archers here. He took them into reserve, and then everything else here was fast, and he just comes this way with his whole army. And so we're meant to be left and right deployment. We ended up becoming top and bottom deployment. We just rotated, and that sucked for me because that meant I took 3 or so turns of shooting from 44 Blitzbarb archers and 5 Blitzbarb seekers, my screens just went down. My Troggoth is taking wounds. I ended up going for like a suicide charge with the trolls because it meant I got to score 1, 2, and more. It was mad. I scored perfectly for the first 4 rounds. I'm up on 20 points. But being a mounted army with no GVs and his Blitzbarb archers are in my territory, so when he did barge
Get an
through,
extra point.
That's
I forgot about that in the
did you?
first 3. It didn't matter, but in the first 3 games I forgot about that, and then I think it was the end of the 3rd game or in the 4th game, realized you get the extra point, but
Yeah.
it's too late now because I've got a new General's Handbook.
Yeah.
I've never scored that extra point.
Really?
Yeah, I've never scored it. I didn't realize
Gotta
it was
remember
there.
it. Now this guy was also 3 drops, and that was the main problem, I think, in this game. If I had been able to double turn him, I maybe would have caught up. But he won the roll off or attacker defender, so I was first round 1. He never won priority, in all fairness, but I needed a double turn in order to beat him, and I was going first, so that was never happening. So that was my last game. Lost that.
So did you not? Was there no time where you? Because a few times today my opponents like forced me to take the double.
Yeah.
I made them go first, and they made me take the double because they
If
thought
he'd
I'd have
ever
a good
given it to
time.
me, I would have caught up. He was like constantly measuring 28 inches away from Kragnos, because then even if I moved 10 and rolled 666s, I still don't
But
get
what I
him.
mean is, you were winning the priority. Was
Yeah.
there a time where you might have taken a chance at giving him the double?
Um,
I don't know. I don't know if that.
oh, if I'd given him the double.
While Matt's thinking, I finished my game quite early. You'll find out about that later. But I turned around to the table and there was endless spells all over it. The armies were just higgly piggly swirling around. The game was wild. It looked like an incredible game to
Yeah,
play.
it was really tactical.
Yeah.
The guy was just thinking completely out of the box. I was just looking at it like a line. I was like, right, he's going to front, focus on one flank, crush it. And he was like, fourth dimension. It was mad. The guy, man, props to him. He really earned that win. He played super well. Yeah, props to James. Okay, so that was that was it. That was the game. My final thoughts. Wow, I really do think that this is close to an optimized Gloomspite Gitz list. It's really hard for me to think of something that could improve upon it in terms of list building. There are a few things I've. One of the main things that always comes up in tournaments is all the rules you forget. So I forgot my Moon Clan lairs at least a dozen times that like I didn't make the roll. Moon Clan lairs, if you don't know, is if you roll a 4-up, then if you have a dead battle line unit, you'll bring back a half strength one, basically. Forgot it like a dozen times.
But I did see you get it twice in the last game.
Got it twice in the last game.
I don't think I've ever got it. Have you ever got anything ever come up?
No.
I've tried and tried.
Well, that was just the pure force of will at that point. I was like, I've not got this in 4 games. I am getting it now, and I just put that energy into that dice. I was like, I'm going to turn you into 3 Spider Riders, and so it did.
You did it. Congratulate you on that.
All right. So thanks for listening. Make sure you tune into James's video.
Yeah, congratulations on your 3-2. And if you do tune into my video, at the end of the video, you'll also see the winning list. Spoilers, it's not my list.